Welcome to the PR Maven podcast, a podcast all about growing your network and building your brand through traditional and digital networking techniques. I'm Nancy Marshall, the PR Maven and CEO of Marshall Communications. Stay tuned for this week's episode, and thanks for listening. Welcome, PR Maven Nation, to this week's episode, one of our mini episodes, a quick and informative look at how publicists and marketers can begin to adapt to Web3. The podcast is presented by Marshall Communications, creator of the 65-step Marshall Plan process. For more information, visit marshallpr.com. And on the website under PR Maven, you will also find information about my two books, PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand. This week, I will be sharing my Forbes Agency Council article, How Publicists and Marketers Can Begin to Adapt to Web3. So let's dive right in. The online world is changing. Web3 is here, powered by millennials and Gen Zers who are morphing the internet into a more interactive playing field for all of us. As publicists and marketers, our new challenge is to change with the times and advance our usage of online technologies. We need to keep up with the rest of the world since there is a new age of consumers with new demands. There is a new age of clients and customers, meaning that our client and customer service will have to look different. Web 1.0 was not much more advanced than television. It was not a very interactive medium. Websites dating back to the 1990s came across as extremely flat, with minimal opportunities for any user interactivity. Trust me, they seemed like pieces of paper turned digital. Very, very basic stuff. In the early 2000s, Web 2.0 shifted to user interactivity. Whereas Web 1.0 was more static, Web 2.0 enhanced connectivity through social media platforms, public forums, wikis, and much more. Websites and applications leveraged user-generated content for everyday customers, from MySpace and Twitter to Wikipedia, which now attracts billions of global visitors each month, including editors who curate the content. Now comes Web 3, the next phase of the internet. Emerging relatively recently and still evolving, Web 3 includes new forms of commerce. Take, for example, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, which are like digital artwork or virtual tickets to events. Think blockchain. To quote entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk, in Web 3, the blockchain allows you to own it. That's why Bitcoin BTC, negative 5.2%, was a big thing. You actually own those Bitcoins. NFTs, you own these digital pictures and art. Or consider Roblox, the gaming platform that already draws tens of millions of young users. Between 2018 and 2020, the number of daily active Roblox users exploded by 170%. Through Roblox, children these days are empowered to exchange items and earn money in the so-called metaverse. My friend Juline's son, Patrick, who is 10 years old, tried to teach me how to play Roblox last winter when we were at their ski condo. I was somewhat flummoxed by it, figuring out how to win or even just score points. It's definitely not like playing Candyland, which was popular when I was a kid. But playing with Patrick taught me a valuable lesson. The target audience is changing. The end user is evolving. Millennials and Gen Zers are forcing PR professionals and marketing gurus to target people in different ways. Those who don't adjust will get lost in the shuffle. Their methods will become antiquated if they're not already. As we develop PR and marketing strategies for clients, we need to brainstorm new ways to engage target audiences through Web 3. Perhaps it means educating consumers about NFTs through updated talking points. Maybe it means connecting clients with news outlets that cover Web 3 on a daily basis. Such publications may be more interesting to young consumers than traditional newspapers like the Wall Street Journal or cable news networks like CNN. Here's another example. My agency is currently working on strategic communications for a local chamber of commerce. We're developing a plan and a series of strategies and tactics to engage younger business owners. The younger crowd may not prefer traditional meet and greet events. So we're helping the Chamber of Commerce promote new age types of meetings that make small business owners in their 20s and 30s feel more comfortable. Case in point, the increasing popularity of blockchain conferences, many of them hosted virtually. Even just bringing up terms like NFT or crypto and having a foundational understanding of them can show clients that you're on the cutting edge of business. The first step is for publicists and marketers to educate themselves about Web3 and understand the basics to fit them into client service. We don't need to be experts on blockchain or cryptocurrency. It's very confusing, I admit, but we can learn the general gist. There are countless teaching and training seminars available online, or you could play Roblox with somebody like Patrick. Don't be intimidated. In the 1990s, the very concept of a website was intimidating, but people learned to adapt. In the early 2000s, the phrase social media was daunting, but people again figured out how to adjust. It takes time to stay up to speed, but human beings are adaptable creatures. So learn, be curious. By staying up to date on Web3, you'll be a much better publicist or marketer because of it. For more insight, get access to my latest book, Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand, by visiting prmaven.com/giveaway and download a free copy today. And here's my friend, Mike Duguay, to share how PR Works and Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand have helped him.
After reading PR Works, I really started to think about how marketing actually works. And I know that sounds a little bit ridiculous, but what I realize is that each platform nowadays that we use out there in digital media and social media has its own nuance and also quirks to it. And understanding how they're used is exceedingly important. Because when you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. And you can't approach it that way in marketing. And that's where I think Nancy's brilliance really shined in PR Works. I think Grow Your Audience, Grow Your Brand is really sort of the manifesto of understanding that there's many different levels to marketing. It's on your personal side of your brand, how actually you express yourself through business, but also what people hear you saying and what they see out there in the public eye as well. So I think what's really important there, that's really the blueprint of how you go about using these new social media platforms, but also to express who you are as a human being. Because people want to see you authentically and genuinely working with not only what you do, but also with the customers. And Nancy, on a personal level, I think that's who she is. She embodies that approach.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the PR Maven podcast. I invite you to share a review of the podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcast player. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you never miss an episode. You can also join the PR Maven Nation on Facebook. It's free to join, and it's a great community of like-minded individuals who are all looking to learn and grow from one another. If you use an Alexa device, use your Alexa app to search the skills and games section to find and enable the PR Maven podcast flash briefing. This will give you access to exclusive content and more PR and marketing advice. Thanks again for listening, and have a great rest of your week, PR Maven Nation.